This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, this is Cecil Fielder from Detroit, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, so I stand corrected. Our producer said that the Schmo has done media things before he got into the MMA world. I wasn't implying that he just came out of, the clear blue sky, but that he just started in MMA recently.
Well, it's like, remember when the pink suit guy, Josh Cohen?
Yeah.
He's
Dean Thomas's guy.
Yeah, he's great. I love that guy. He should have a bigger presence in media.
I haven't seen him in events in a while.
But I thought he was fantastic. And I've heard some of his podcasts or radio show. I think he has a radio show. I think it's here in Florida.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah.
Well, that's really not Florida, but yeah. He did a lot and probably still does with Dean Thomas. And that was his gimmick, the pink suit.
Yeah.
This guy, he had that gimmick.
I need a gimmick.
Ooh, the camera just fell. That wasn't really a smart move by our producer. He almost cost us tens of millions of dollars.
That is a nice camera.
I remember my question before the break.
What is it?
Did you raise your hand and did you get called upon? All right, we need to vote. Who does not want to call on Matt? Raise their hand.
All right.
I lose 2-1.
Is Mike hand count as a vote or not?
No.
Okay. But no, you guys have both been in media a long time. I mean, so since the World's Fair, have you guys ever covered any of the Olympics?
Since the World's Fair.
The World's Fair was like 1912. What are you talking about?
That's when Randy was just got in.
Oh, I see. You were trying to make an old joke.
No,
I get it.
I went to the World's Fair, and I think it was 82.
But have you been to an Olympic? Did you cover the Atlanta?
I covered the Salt Lake City Olympics in 2002.
Because they're coming back.
I was in Atlanta.
Park City, Utah's got nominated for the Winter Olympics 2034. They'll be back.
Well, I think we talked about it on the air with one of your guests that was in Salt Lake City. I just thought
that was the FanX.
Yeah, that was one of the greatest cities I've ever been to. And I got to admit, it was my first time covering the Olympics. So I was already excited. It was a great. I was the entertainment guy and the sports guy, but I only had access to certain things, and one of them were the concerts. I was covering the concerts. It was just, I had so much fun. And but the actual games themselves, I think I only saw snowboarding. I was the only one I actually was credentialed for, which I was like, why are you sending me to the Olympics when I've only got one? But they still had plenty of content. It was a lot of fun. But my point is, Salt Lake City was gorgeous.
Do you think they'll ever bring the Summer Olympics to Florida, specifically, let's say, Tampa, St. Pete, because the triathlon, the triathlon in Paris, the river's so contaminated.
Yeah, they can't even do it.
They can't do the triathlon event, but here we're known for triathlons. This is where some of the world's greatest athletes come to perform.
And where are you going to do everything else?
Well, Clearwater, like St. Pete, Tampa. I mean, the three cities, you could spread it out. I mean, they're doing surfing in the French Polynesian 10,000 miles away from Paris. So, I mean, literally, you could do it anywhere in the state. SeaWorld, divers. I mean, you call diving at SeaWorld. I've seen them all the way at the top with a little bucket.
Dive over
Shamu and you win the gold medal. Don't get eaten. Whoever doesn't get eaten wins the gold.
That is entertainment.
That is entertainment, actually. We're not far from that. It's funny in that movie Running Man with Richard Dawson and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not too far-fetched these days.
Schwarzenegger on record this week talking about the new generation are a bunch of wimps, that we're raising a sissified next generation of men in our country. Thoughts on the governor chiming in?
I mean, he's stating the obvious.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have any.
He didn't really go out on a limb.
You're right. Yeah. I don't have any thoughts on stating the obvious.
I think even the people we are talking about would agree that they are those people.
Yeah, and that's what's more sad about it. They just admit to it. They've like sort of given up. Like, yeah, that's me. I'm a sissy. I know it. I'm a mama's boy. I sit home and I play video games, and my girlfriend yells at me, but I'm going to play my games.
I remember when we sat in Denver with Steve and Eric, and we talked to Abdul, and we talked about some things, and all of these people, all of these athletes, non-athletes that come to this country, and they're so thankful, and they don't act like we're acting, like Americans are acting, because Americans feel entitled.
Right. When immigrants come in and they achieve the American dream, they're very proud.
Very thankful.
Americans achieve the American dream because they think they deserve They deserve it.
Look at the swimmer, that I think he took third. Okay, disappointed. Then you see other swimmers take third, and they just when the rugby team won, you would have thought they won gold. We all expect go out and earn it, and a lot of our youth today are not going out and earning anything.
Is there a bigger American dream story than Snoop Dogg, once a gangster rapper, on trial for murder, now the poster child carrying the American torch in the Olympics? Suge Knight calls him an informant, says he's the biggest rat since Mickey at Disney. That Suge Knight said he was the one that ratted them all out. But congrats to Snoop Dogg making it to be in the Olympics.
You could say almost the same thing about Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice was a backyard brawler. He was a bodyguard for a porn company, and then he became one of the most famous fighters in the world. That's pretty impressive.
But I don't know if he had, and I'm not saying Snoop did. This idiot said it, not me. I don't know if Kevin Ferguson, killed anyone, attempted to kill anyone. And what a lot of people didn't realize is if Kevin Ferguson, Kimbo Slice, had the opportunity to stay in college, he possibly had an NFL career ahead of him. But, the hurricane hit, he had to go make money, blah, 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 blah. And that's just how life is. Sometimes you have to step back and adjust.
So why?
Other times we have to stop and listen to Matt.
So why do certain sports you can go straight from high school to the pros, like LeBron, like Kobe, and how come football requires you to go to college and wait till you're older?
Yeah, that's a political question.
And NBA you can't anymore. NBA you can't go straight directly.
Really? You can't go straight from the high school to the pros?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the Olympics?
Baseball, you can.
Most of these athletes are minors. That's probably why Drake isn't allowed to be there, but Snoop is, because apparently he has some issues with a minor, or allegedly.
The hell are you talking about?
I'm just talking about Drake, and maybe he'll be at the Special Olympics because he came from a wheelchair.
Right.
So maybe it's a different Olympics for him.
Drake is amazing that he can walk after getting shot.
Rossi, yeah.
This guy was a basketball future.
Will he be Canada or USA when he goes to the Special Olympics?
It's whoever's winning.
In the slammer ball.
Drake is a big front runner. So.
But no, I just wonder why, a lot of these young athletes, their peak is before they're 18 years of age, like gymnastics, tennis, swimming. There's a lot of sports where they're pro eligible or making money, especially with NIL deals now. But how does that apply to the Olympics with the new changes in professional sport? I'm asking you guys. You guys are the legends here.
But
you guys know.
But you didn't ask anything.
I'm just asking that.
You asked, how does that apply? You just spoke in proclamations and then said, how does that apply to the Olympics?
Okay, so go back to bodybuilding. That's what I know. So let's go to bodybuilding.
Is that in the Olympics?
It should be.
Oh, no, hold on. Is it in the Olympics?
No, not yet.
Then give us a different reference.
No, but okay. So gold medal.
He just ignores
chocolate.
that. Just moves forward.
In bodybuilding, the difference between amateur and professional: amateur, you pay to play, and professional, you get paid to play, you get paid to compete. So if you take money as a professional, you're no longer to be allowed in the Olympics from rule sets, as I understood
it. That changed years ago.
Well, I know, but where do you draw the line?
The line was drawn, and they changed it.
It was drawn when Michael Jordan played on the Dream Team. That's when they said, okay, pros can play.
Do you think it's good or bad for the Olympics to have professionals
I think it's
play?
great. Who cares? If they're Americans, they should be able to play for the American team.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter if they're sports. They're the pinnacle. They're the best athletes in that sport for your country. It doesn't matter.
Well, the reason that,
Tony Kukoc could play for the Bulls, and he can go play for Croatia in the Olympics. Who cares?
Okay, so Dick Vitale was with Randy. They called him Randy Rosarina. He just got traded to Seattle, right? But the Diaper Dandy, the NCAA men's basketball tournament, the greatest sporting event of all sporting events. It's because there's so much passion at the collegiate level because they're not getting paid. They're not getting scholarships. They're getting education. They're getting scholarships, but they're not getting
Those
paid
times
money.
are gone.
Yeah.
But that's
They're gone.
ruined the sport.
Well, it hasn't ruined the sport.
It has. Nobody watches the NCAA men's basketball like they once did.
Really?
How does
got
the NIL
more
ruin
attention
the
this
sport?
year for women's NCAA basketball than the men's tournament did? Who won this year's men's tournament?
UConn.
Well, thanks for paying attention. He didn't know. But that's the point. People are winning championships like the Celtics. I didn't even see one game. It wasn't in my algorithm on my Facebook. I didn't see any highlights.
What does that have to do with amateur athletes no longer amateurs
but
getting
I'm just
paid?
saying that the passion
well, no,
is
it's
gone.
not. You're just saying
gone.
the passion was there. Did you see the parade?
What parade?
Exactly. Just because you were too busy, in the unemployment line trying to get, food stamps doesn't mean that the parade didn't happen.
You can get food stamps online now, dude.
Can you?
Yeah, you don't have to wait in line.
Can I use your computer?
I already have an account. You can just log into mine.
Where are they good at? I'm hungry. This 16-8 diet, sometimes you get hungry in the middle of your day.
Yeah.
Just your question made no sense, just so you know.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. But that's okay, though. You used up some minutes of content, and which was fine, because Randy and I didn't have to speak.
Exactly. Do you have any other questions that make no sense?
I got some comments, but I can't. They'll be offensive, and I'll get canceled.
Don't get canceled.
You'll get canceled?
Oh, yeah. I got some jokes to open for Russell Peters tomorrow.
Okay. A, you're not opening for Russell Peters.
I should open for Russell Peters. I saw the last two guys, and I'm better than those guys.
Ooh, that's a friend of Russell Peters.
Wow.
Oh, scratch that one.
I guess that's what you have. You have to have no self-esteem to say stupid things, because you just don't care what people think.
Well, but if you think about it, it reinforced his argument that we live in a country full of sissies now, because what people are getting famous for is saying stupid and doing stupid things.
No, that's true.
Okay, so I'll say my offensive thing. So I watched a Facebook reel, and the guy was like, "Hey, I painted my computer so it would run faster." He goes, "Because I painted it black."
I got it. Yeah.
Now it doesn't run. Oh, now it doesn't work at all. That's not my joke.
They do all those jokes, and I don't watch Saturday Night Live, but where the two guys write jokes for each other,
hilarious.
It is hilarious.
Michael Che and
I don't know,
Ryan Yost,
Yeah.
Jost, whatever. He's married to Scarlett Johansson.
Right. And he always has to tell these stupid jokes about her.
Yeah.
I suffered through watching my wife's movies last night. I had no idea who he was married to.
Yeah, Scocho. But he didn't write it. Michael Che wrote it. Hilarious.
Yeah. Or the one where he had the Michael dude had the other dude talking about
Superman.
Talking about Martin Luther King.
The Man of Steel.
Where his family member was
Coretta
sitting
Scott
there.
King was
right. But that's what comedy's supposed to be. It's supposed to be funny. You're not supposed to take it serious. Tomorrow night, when I go see my buddy Russell Peters with Steve and I are going to be backstage and hanging out with Russell. He picks on everybody. Matter of fact, the first day I met Russell Peters, through our mutual friend, he did not want our family to sit in the front row, which was at a small comedy club in Orlando. He goes, because, dude, I'm telling you, he's going to be perfect. He's going to be pinpoint. He's going to blah, 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 blah. So we ended up in the second row, and sure enough, halfway through, hey, you, and everything he said about us was spot on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
And he's told some really funny stuff. He was with Osama bin Laden's brother. And again, you don't hold the family responsible for, even though maybe sometimes you should. So he went to put his number in Russell's phone. He goes, absolutely not. Your number's not going in my phone.
That's hilarious.
We can meet by carrier pigeon or something, but we're not going to meet up with your number.
I need to fly home today. I don't need your number in my phone. I don't be on a no-fly zone.
Russell always talks about him being Indian, and he would always say casino Indian, not gas station Indian. Or vice versa. I don't remember which it is. Did I say it right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, so we'll be out with Russell Peters tomorrow night. No idea. My former producer, co-host, Alex Waghorn, has not played, but DJ'd at Russell's house.
Wow.
Because Russell's big into that DJ thing.
Nice.
Where does he live? In
L.A.
In L.A.?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm sure he has a